from the right side. The diaphragm is going to be that large dome-shaped muscle that covers over top of the liver and is just inferior to the lungs. So when we move the diaphragm up out of the way, and if we lift the liver, we can see where the esophagus enters into the stomach. So we identify the stomach based upon its different regions. The area where the esophagus is entering, this is what we call the cardiac portion. So the cardiac sphincter is going to be the area where we've got the circular smooth muscle in the wall right at the beginning of the stomach and the end of the esophagus. And you'll see it's very much narrowed at the sphincters. So where we see our pyloric sphincter at the end of the stomach, again, you can see that the stomach actually narrows, the wall narrows there because of the band of muscle that runs around it. So we have cardiac portion of the stomach, fundus of the stomach is the top pocket, the body is the most significant portion, and then the pyloric region is where it U's back up. The pyloric sphincter, the indentation here, and then we move into the small intestine. The duodenum of the small intestine is the shortest of the portions. When we lift the greater omentum up and out of our way, we can see the pancreas runs right underneath of the stomach and the omentum, and it runs through the first turn of the duodenum. Where the pancreas ends is also where the duodenum ends. So from this point, we would transition from duodenum to jejunum. The jejunum is going to make up the top third to half of the small intestine. And the mesentery is all this connective tissue that keeps it in position. The last half that we can see down here at the bottom is the ileum. And the ileum runs into the ascending colon. The little seal's nose off the end is the cecum. The cat does not have an appendix to it, so we won't have an appendix in the cat. The ascending colon is about 2 fingers width, and then we go to transverse colon, and then descending colon down the posterior wall. As we continue to look at this posterior wall, we can see our adrenal glands on top of our kidneys, so that what appears to be almost fatty material on top of the kidneys are going to be the adrenal glands. And again, this would be the left kidney and the right kidney. Coming off the kidneys, we see the tubes of the ureters, and the ureters are going to take us down to the urinary bladder. The urinary bladder is that small balloon that sits in the fat pad. And then the urethra is that anterior exit to the urinary bladder. When we look at the liver, the lobes of the liver are going to be slightly different in the cat than in the human. We have a right medial lobe, a right lateral lobe. The right side lobes are bifurcated, meaning they have 2 pieces. So the right medial lobe, its bifurcation surrounds the gallbladder. Coming down from the gallbladder and the liver, you have your 2 bile ducts, your cystic duct and your hepatic duct, and they merge together to form the common bile duct. So you'll see in the cat, the common bile duct is this green tube as it enters into the small intestine. So we have our right medial lobe, right lateral lobe, and then on the left side, left medial lobe, left lateral. The left medial lobe is the smallest of all the lobes of the liver. The left lateral, again, you can see from this front surface, but the right lateral you can't. And again, the diaphragm, the big muscle that covers over top of that. So those are going to be the structures that you'll be using the cats for to identify specimen-wise for the lab practical.